And now a live look outside the Jewish Center in Missoula. A vigil will take place in just a short time here in recognition of the ongoing war in Israel and the people suffering from the conflict. The rabbi is set to lead the vigil and prayer. We're expecting to hear from local leaders and community members following tonight's service. And we will bring you an update tonight on our live broadcast at 10 o'clock. Tonight, team coverage on the latest developments in Israel. We begin with national correspondent Audra El-Nashar on President Biden's response to the situation.
President Biden calling attacks by Hamas pure, unadulterated evil and says it's time to be clear the United States stands with Israel.
We will make sure Israel has what it needs to take care of its citizens, defend itself, and respond to this attack.
The president recounting the brutality against civilians.
Stomach-turning reports of babies being killed, entire families slain.
Israeli Defense Forces speaking to reporters at a kibbutz attacked by Hamas.
They killed parents, and we found babies between the dogs and the family that killed before him. They cut head of the people.
And by Tuesday evening, the Palestinian Ministry of Health reported 260 children were among the 900 killed during Israel's retaliatory airstrikes. The president did not address criticism from Republicans who claim so far without evidence that Iran was able to help Hamas because of a recent deal the administration made with Iran to release 5 wrongfully detained Americans in exchange for the transfer of $6 billion in frozen Iranian aid.
We should look back at the breadcrumbs that lead back to the hostage negotiation that freed $6 billion. And what did Tehran say about the $6 billion? We will use it in any way we like.
The White House stands by the terms of the deal that the money can only be used for humanitarian purposes.
I think it's important for people to remember that not a single dinar of those funds has gone into Iran, not one.
The president says he'll ask lawmakers to take action to fund the national security needs of critical partners when they return to Washington. The Senate is back next week and the House is back Wednesday, but its first order of business will be electing a new speaker. In Washington, I'm Audra El-Nashar.
The surprise terrorist attack on Israel by Hamas militants was pre-planned and well-coordinated, shaking those inside the country to the core.
We have the most advanced and sophisticated military in the world. This is the most amount of Jews that have been murdered in a single day since the Holocaust.
The failure of both Israeli and American intelligence to detect the attack ahead of time, unleashing warnings here at home.
We need an immediate assessment of our own areas of weakness and a glaring weakness in our own southern border.
Former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy pointing to the official numbers released by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, with arrests of those on the terror watch list so far at 154, a sharp increase from 98 the year before, 16 the year before that, and just 3 in 2019 and 2020.
Why are they coming to America? What do they have planned? And who are they communicating with?
Those questions should have been asked far more in the months leading up to 9/11, according to the 9/11 Commission, which laid out countless examples of missed threats and vulnerabilities, including at our border.
The restrictions that the 9/11 Commission recommended and that were actually implemented following the terrorist attacks with respect to immigrants have almost all been abandoned. For U.S. citizens, we still live in a post-9/11 world. At the border, we don't.
Critics of the Biden administration's border policies say those policies don't appear to consider external threats from terrorists around the world. The White House pushing back.
We continue to remain vigilant about terrorist threats to the homeland from anywhere.
These concerns are now being raised as part of the immigration debate here in Washington and on the campaign trail. Some candidates even calling for the U.S. military to be immediately used to secure our border. I'm Christine Frizzau reporting.